Hi guys, welcome back to my BMW E46 330ci. Well, in this episode we've got 10 minutes, and in those 10 minutes I'm going to give you 5 simple fixes that I've made to this car which might be useful to you. We clean, paint, sand, drill, seal and spray. Number 1, I know it's sunny, but the roof, it actually needs weatherproofing, so let's crack on with that first. The roof clearly hadn't had any treatment for years, so first I gave it a good clean. Using a handheld snow cannon, I coated the roof with an all-purpose cleaner, and after dwelling for a couple of minutes I coated it again. Then using a small horsehair brush and elbow grease I went for it, making sure that all the edges and seams were agitated too. Preparation for weatherproofing is key. I flood rinsed it to make sure that no cleaner was left and allowed it to dry out completely in the summer sun. You can see how it just soaks in the water. Masking up is really important. These weatherproofing products tend to be thin and run everywhere. The products I use on this car are Renovo, Reviver and Ultraproofer, together with a suitable receptacle and clean paintbrushes. I use Protex and Autoglym on my Mazda MX-5. You can click on the banner at the top of the screen or follow to that video via the description below. It is very, runny, watery, shall I say. You really need to get this product and work it into the seams because that's where the stitching is. And that's the place where you're going to start getting leaks, I would have thought, in the future. That's probably the weakest point. I applied 2 coats of the Reviver with a 5-hour gap in between, in straight strokes, cleaning any splashes as I went along, making sure that I was as even as possible and as quick as possible. I couldn't unlatch the roof to do the edges properly because the car has an electrical fault and it's died. Watch this space for more news on that. So that'll have to wait until I lube the frame linkages for winter. After 24 hours of curing, I applied 1 coat of Ultraproofer using a new paintbrush and poodle pot. This is a milky product very similar to Protex and Autoglym that I used on the MX-5. Once fully coated with the Renovo Ultraproofer, I took off the masking tape and let it cure for 24 hours before testing it with, guess what, a watering can. My verdict? I'd say that it's really good, a touch better maybe than it was on the MX-5. Weatherproofing has definitely been restored. I'd say that was time and money well spent and a must for preventative care on the roof of any soft top. Number 2 on the list is the aerial. It's snapped off. The little mount at the bottom is actually broken in half and sheared away, and it's actually, well, I think it's corroded and stuck inside. You can just see there, it snapped clean off. Now I'm sure that metal in there is quite soft, so we should be able to drill that out. So I drilled through the core of the stump with a 2.5 and then a 3.5mm drill bit, which was straightforward. Then I tried a screw extractor, the one that goes backwards. No joy. A flat screwdriver and a pick were enough to dislodge the remnants, and a quick vac to remove the debris yielded a thread I could tap into. A bit of grease and making sure it wasn't over-tightened, and hey, the job was done. Now I prefer bee stings on convertibles and stubbies on coupes. Let me know whether you agree with me. Number 3 on the list is headlights and rear tail lights. The inner ones, they've actually clouded over. The headlights look appalling and they really do need a restoration. For the rear boot lid mounted inner lights, I used Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and polish and a soft pad, and it was very easy to do. Meguiar's stuff is tried, tested and trusted, readily available and affordable. The improvement was immediate and you can almost see it on the speeded up clip. Gloss has been restored and it lifts the whole of the rear of the car. I've used this technique on all of my older cars, even the E46 635CSI with great results. If you are enjoying this video, then please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. The front lenses look dirty even when they've just been washed. They have a really rough feel, a gritty feel. I've never sanded and restored headlight lenses before, and I was really nervous about using lacquer and the whole process. I've only ever dabbled with rattle cans in the past on things like external door furniture. Anyway, I removed the moulded top seals and gave the lenses another good clean. I then masked everything up to protect the paintwork from accidental damage. So to do this headlight restoration, I've got a little kit that I bought off of Amazon, and it's just a straightforward bog standard kit. Right, so there's my drill. You get that little adapter. You then get a little roll of masking tape, which is way too small really for what you need. You get 800, 1200 and 2000 grit wet and dry paper. You get a foam polishing pad, and you get this polishing paste, and you get this protective liquid. Now I'm not going to use the protective liquid, I'm actually going to clear coat the lights. After mounting the 800, I soaked it and wet the lens. I tentatively made a start by hand as I wanted control. Curvature and a flat pad don't go too well together, so I was being careful, and once I felt confident with each grit, I sanded without the mount, making sure that I got all of the lens with some consistency.
I applied the same method to 1200 and 2000 grit, and it actually felt easier than I thought it would. I think using your hand helps. A machine might be too aggressive if you are new to this. I took my time, grew in confidence, and it felt quite good. It took about 20 minutes for each lens, and once I was happy, I removed the masking tape which was soaked. After fully drying, I reapplied fresh masking.
We're going to give this a try.
The supplied sponge pad is just a porous sponge and it soaks everything up. It doesn't have any closed cell technology at this sort of price point. However, not already having a 3-inch pad of my own meant I had to use it, and it actually worked okay. The benefits of a tall sponge is that it can flex and contour over the curves. It's perfect. When it comes to detailing, my view is that you sand or polish off the least amount of surface for the best result you can get. The difference between finished and unfinished is really stark.
So here on the near side, passenger side, we're not going to use the polishing paste by Lock Bonso. I'm actually going to do something different. I'm going to use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. I just want to see if this makes a difference and how much of a difference it makes compared to the other Headlight. And then I'm going to finish it off with this Ultimate Polish.
This test will sort of confirm if the supplied paste is any good. Meguiar's stuff is decent quality. I'm sure many will agree to disagree with me on that. I can only go with my own experience and results that I have obtained as a weekend warrior.
Good to go. So Meguiar's Ultimate Polish. Now, of course, all of this stuff you can just get from Halfords or anywhere. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, but I do like this product. It's actually quite easy to use. It's not overly aggressive either.
The difference between Meguiar's Ultimate Compound and Polish is a small step. I mean, it's really interesting, I suppose, but not that surprising, because you'd expect a Meguiar's product to be better than something that comes in an £11 Chinese kit. So I decided to do the driver's side again too.
Look at that, that is so much better.
Then it was time for clear coat, so I fully masked up the car again to avoid any overspray. First I mixed 20% isopropyl alcohol, or IPA, with water and cleaned the lenses to make sure that oils and residue from the pastes and compounds and polishes were completely gone. This is important, else they will react together and we'd have to start all over again. There was no turning back now. A quick test spray and I applied a quick tack coat to each lens to help adhesion. And then, well, I had to go for it. Now, I've never ever done anything like this before and I was dead nervous because if it went wrong, it would mean I'd have to start all over again. It was a really warm day, so long strokes to cover all areas consistently is what I was trying to do to ensure consistency. It seemed to go on really easily and really well on both sides. Well, I really shouldn't have worried because they came out perfect. I was gobsmacked.
Number 4 on the list is the passenger side rear light. It's letting water in.
In order to fix this, the light has to come out. The harness unclips. The lamp is secured by 3 10mm nuts. 2 are easy to locate from the trunk, but the third is well hidden behind the carpet, so you have to remove its fixings, pulling back slightly to access it. An inspection of the rear of the lamp doesn't show anything obvious at all, but the nuts weren't that tight. In fact, I could easily undo them by hand, so maybe water was getting in from behind this black foam gasket. I wasn't in the mood for chance, so I used a thin smear of clear exterior silicone all around the meeting faces of the lens and the backing. Then I smoothed it down using the finger of soapy water. I then cleaned out the aperture using all-purpose cleaner to ensure that the gasket sealed correctly and that it would be seated correctly too. Refitting the lens was just a reverse basically of the removal process. All 3 nuts in, the carpet trim back, and the job's a good one. And this time, of course, I tightened the nuts too.
Number 5 is a really simple little fix, and I'm really proud of this one. The actual little boot badge, the emblem, is a strange size, and they're about £45 even off of eBay. Now, if like me, you have an E46 convertible, not a coupe, just the convertibles, and you're trying to get hold of one of these boot emblems, now there is a little workaround that I've discovered. If you buy cheap center caps, okay, using a pick to remove the badge from there and some 3M tape, well, guess what? You got a solution. I've just done this. These center caps were free from the previous owner.
There you have it, 5 fixes in less than 10 minutes. If you'd like to see my buyer's guide on the E46, then please click on the tile in front of you now. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching and I will see you soon.